Hello everyone, I'm Sanjay Mistry. I'm co-founder at VIM, and we started this. We started VIM some 6 years ago now to help the industry, to help the construction industry actually move from generic tool sets to a more next generation standard that can enable people to actually use BIM technology without all of the complicated and complex tool sets that they need. Our intention here is to focus on giving as many people access to the BIM data as quickly and as fast as possible. And so what we're going to be showing you and talking to you about here today is the next generation of technology that we've developed, which is real time. It's about, a lot of the things that Matt and DJ talked about, but where we're going with this is it's all about a team of motivated leadership that we've got, stemming all the way back from Autodesk to many other companies within the AEC space. And we're looking at the actual core issues within the industry, being the least digitized, being not very collaborative, and having bad productivity. But all of that comes down to communication and being able to actually enabling data to flow between one person and another. And today, we know that there are data silos within this industry that actually enables people to actually break down those communication gaps and brings those communication gaps into play. With VIM, what you're going to see is that, we're going to blur those lines regarding the physical and the data side of things, the digital side of things. And, we know that there's, an economy need here with the baby boomers, almost kind of cohorts going out and then new, blood coming into the construction industry and attracting new, younger generations into the construction industry as a place where there is innovation going on. I think that's really important. Where we're really concerned as well is all of that innovation will help us actually increase our productivity. As we know, over the last 40 years, that we've actually seen 1,000% plus increase in productivity in automotive and other manufacturing industries. But in our construction industry, it's actually been about 8%. And we know it's very fragmented. It's kind of also, caused a lot of pollution within our industry as well. And so if we look at the waste side, what we want to be able to do is get into the technology end at the early construction side of things, enabling people to have access to the BIM data as soon and as early as possible. And that means that VIM has basically been able to reimagine the technology for the AEC industry, making BIM accessible for everyone. The more access to data that we can see that people can have on a simple, easy to use platform makes it a lot more productive, increases productivity. What we have today is a new file format. So as an engine, we are, as a real-time engine, we have developed a brand new file format, which enables you to actually take large data sets and put them into a real-time environment, which is the VIM platform, which you're going to see in a second. That is a Revit plugin and an IFC converter as well. We have an API. We also have plugins into 3D Studio Max, Unity, Unreal, Magic Leap, and other applications. It's really simple to use. We've tried not to make this technology difficult in any way. Our whole intention here is simplicity and easy access to the data. So we can go from Revit into the VIM engine itself, and then that engine enables you to go out to any format and anywhere you want to. Unlike other manufacturing softwares out there or software companies out there who are wall gardening you in, VIM is an open file format, allowing you to go wherever you want to go. And that's really important to understand. The interoperability within our industry is really, really siloed, and it's causing a lot of wall gardens from the major software developers that we're working with and we're dependent on. VIM actually knocks those walls down, enabling you to actually take your data wherever you want to go, including our partner RIB as well. So we're actually supporting the RIB platform, and we're working with them as well. And so just on that note, let me just show you the technology. I do have a video here to show you, and we'll go in from there.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you about the VIM real-time platform for the built environment. We came together to create a real-time platform, engine, and file format specific to the needs of the built environment. And here's an example. I'm going to open up a project that came from Revit, which takes, 15 to 20 minutes just to load up into Revit. I'm going to load it here into our desktop app in about a second. And I'm able to move around the space and interrogate it very, very quickly. You can see here I've got a full project loaded with 3 towers. Now let me actually press F10 to give you an idea of the frame rate that we are getting. It's over 100 frames per second on average. And the other piece I'd like to illustrate is that we are able to select an object and read all of the properties related to it. I can bring people in with me into this experience. If I was to host a huddle right now, I could bring, let me just type in my name, click next, and we would go through the motions right now of generating a code that I could share with anybody, and they would get the ability to join me in this 3D experience in real time from anywhere in the world. So we're actually going through it right now. There we go. I finished uploading it. I have this code. I could select it, and we would be able to get working together. I'm going to leave this because I'm going to continue on with the demonstration. The next thing I'd like to show is we have the ability to, we are demonstrating the ability to have productivity workflows built into VIM that we think are really necessary for today's BIM accessible tools and capabilities. And one of them is the ability to see all of the clashes in your project, to do it easily and quickly, not have to wait around for a long time to get that answer. So I'm going to press this live. I'm going to press detect clashes. Again, this is a 3-tower project, and we're going to get a full list of clashes. The last time I did this, it took me about a minute, maybe a minute and a half to get it done. Let's see how we do. Now I should note that not everything you see here is about the visuals. VIM is also about the data that sits under the visual experience. And that data can actually be brought directly into SQL. You can actually index it directly into a SQL database. And with very, very limited technical knowledge, you can bring VIM files directly into products like Power BI. And if I just go over here, you can see I've got not 1, but 3 projects actually loaded up directly in Power BI. And this allows me to inspect these projects and get insights into them, analytical insights, that would otherwise be very difficult to do. For example, the other day, and I have to, give you a fair warning that I am not a Power BI professional by any stretch, but I did learn that I could get, I could set up a panel with a bunch of the information per subpanel and main for the electrics, and I was able to understand what every circuit was for a subpanel, understand what the volt ampere load is, but also understand not only what data was in there, or what data was missing, or what data wasn't conforming to the standards that the owner had implemented for his or her architects. So that's kind of neat. By the way, it all comes into Power BI automatically because of the way that we've set up through our own software, through our own data model with VIM, the relationship from table to table. All right, let me go back to our app here, and you can see if I just open up, expand my Clash window, we can take a look, and I can see things like show me the ducts and the structural framing that clash. And very, very quickly, very easily, I can investigate and interrogate and see, okay, I've got a whole bunch of steel beams, go all the way down to the bottom of the building, and these supply air ducts are running through every single one of those beams. Might be by design, doesn't look like it to me, but that's something that can certainly be discussed very quickly and easily between the structural engineer, the architect, and the mechanical engineer. I also want to point out that a project here of pretty large complexity for VIM is something that really does break all other BIM software. What we consider to be complex projects are getting into a level of development 450, 500, 50-story plus, 40 gigabytes of parametric data, 500 linked files. That sort of scale is where VIM does really, really well. But it also does great on the projects that exist day to day. So let me fire one of those up. Okay, and I also want to show that the VIM files load directly into WebGL, and it's done natively. So there's no pre-processing of a VIM file. The same VIM file that goes into our desktop app, the same VIM file that goes into Power BI via SQL, the same VIM file also loads into WebGL, and it's done with about 100 lines of code in JavaScript. And this thing is loading into memory right now. In just a few seconds, it will all be fired up, and we'll be able to explore a 25-story tower, which, here we go, when I did tests,
I know when you want this question, Sanjay,
against other online BIM viewers, it took them 15 minutes to load. And this is the whole thing. I mean, this is about 15 linked files, 2.5 gigs of parametric data. It is early days for us, but this is very, very promising, considering that the VIM file is completely unoptimized and uncompressed. We haven't had to do it, not yet. So let's keep moving on. Not only does the VIM file go into Power BI, not only does it go into desktop, not only does it go into WebGL, but I can also bring it into editors like 3ds Max, into Unity through Unity API.
So one of the things I'd like to say here, and just to bring forward, is that with the 3D Studio Max side, the VIM file format, as I said, is totally ubiquitous. It's an open file format. We rewrote the file format purely because the industry is moving to a direction and in regards to digitization. And the file formats of today, whether you're using a Revit file format or any other FBX, IFC, and so forth, they're really not designed. They're 30 years old or older. They're not designed for the next generation of data that people need to actually have access to. So we've gone in and we've redesigned and designed a very much a specific file format that is AEC specific for the construction industry. It enables you to manage very large data sets, but it's not closed off, unlike others. So being able to take that data and putting it into a platform like RIB, hence why we are a ubiquitous platform in that way. And when we work with an organization like RIB and a partner like that, it enables us and them to become more powerful and enable them to actually give you as a client also more services that they can offer together, so that there's multiple ways that we can work. We also know that a lot of companies out there will actually want to have 3D visualization. 3D Studio Max is used. What you're seeing right now is how the VIM format can actually go into 3D Studio Max with ease and simplicity, keeping all the data intact, including all of the BIM data and more information than you get through FBX. or which will actually decimate the model and break it all down, because organizations don't want you to take the data from one place to another. So this is where we're really going with the VIM file format, and the benefits are huge in regards to this is a brand new engine. It's not built on Unity, it's not built on Unreal. This is designed and specifically designed for the architecture, engineering, construction, and the owner space, to enable them to have access to the data, enable them to use and have easy and quick visualizations. And what we're finding is with the owner side, that actually they're finally being able to have access to data that they've never been able to have access to before, which enables them to work faster, there's no learning curve or anything along those lines. It saves time, it saves money, and it also gives them higher quality information. Rather than looking at 2D plans, they're actually able to use this technology on their phones or on their PCs, or any device that they need to use this on. Phil, you said that you had some questions.
Yeah, this is all very exciting, and we're running short on time, but for some reason, the LinkedIn chat has a lot more comments and questions than the Zoom one. I'm getting the question, can it export to GLTF? And then the same person is also asking about the graphics engine. And then a third question, if this is running in the cloud, it's more about the data living in the database and less about the file. How many apps out there can import a VIM file? So that's coming from Greg Demchak at Bentley Systems, by the way.
Oh, yes, we can actually take the data sets to any, to anyone. Our data, we do have a database that sits on the cloud, but actually our platform is local. We are cloud enabled, but we're actually, all of what you've seen just now is actually physically on the desktop, and we keep everything local purely because of sensitivity on the projects and so forth. But we do have a cloud service on that side.
Okay, we've got another question from Jacques, who says, how does VIM export 3D mesh for various objects? If you were to bring in an Inventor file format into 3ds Max, it would not do very well in terms of mesh and polys. How does VIM handle mesh and polys well when exporting in different formats? Man, that's right up your street, isn't it? That's like your sweet spot.
Yeah, that's our sweet spot. Yeah, we manage data in a way that nobody else does. We can process a model in no time. We can take a 20 gigabyte Revit file and bring that back down into a VIM file format in less than 25 minutes, and that's fully automated within VIM and within our Revit plugin, all the way going into our engine. We can give you that back in that time. We at this moment in time, we don't support Inventor files directly. We do support it via IFC. Our IFC converter is actually just as fast as our VIM desktop application. So we can try that. And Jack, if you want to get in contact with me, more than happy for you to do that. My details are here. And also for the gentleman from Bentley Systems, my apologies, I didn't get your name.